not mankind, but mankind's. And to me, that conjures these sorts of questions about whether humanity might not mean something. It might not be just about highly evolved primates, but something deeper, something to do with our sentience, our consciousness, our souls, or whatever. So my question is, what do you think constitutes humanity? And moreover, do you think that the NHI, and I know you've addressed this a little bit prior, I've been listening for the past few hours, but do you think that the NHI might have had any role in the ancient past or recent past in terms of the development of our sentience as human beings, or experimentation with our genetic makeup, or some type of artificial selection?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
It has nothing to do with my exposure in the program, but in my opinion, after being exposed to all this stuff and strangeness, I did go read up on some things, just light reading kind of stuff about ancient history. I have read through the Bible from front to back. And yeah, it seems to be, even the Mahabharata mentions the same sorts of things, that there has been an influence, at least, with mankind for a very long time. If you're to take the eyewitness reports and even the shards of the Bible and the manuscripts that we have available from ancient times, where eyewitnesses, in these books mentioning, beings and vehicles or other things that are quite inexplicably like what we would consider UAP activity and NHI activity. So I would say in that regard, yes, there has been some influence. And if you take the other parts of the stories within those manuscripts from ancient history, they describe some of the harsh treatment of our kind. And I think you're also referencing like Anunnaki and things like this. I did read up a little bit on that, not a lot, but just that how they had created a race to work for them in the mines or whatever they wanted to get, the gold or whatever they're going after. So if those are true, then yeah, we've been manipulated even in DNA. The Bible also describes how the giants came about was because the fallen angels or the watchers had been taking wives of mankind, and the offspring became giants. So you have all these really strange things that are hard to wrap your head around. I don't know how much of it to believe myself. All I can say is that when you ask about our soul and who are we supposed to be, I think that is the one thing that is unique to us, honestly. I think each one of us would agree that we feel like we're individuals, that we're each unique, that we each have a different skill set. There's literally no identical twin. You get close to people that are like you, but there's always differences. And I think that speaks well of, if there is an everlasting life after this, that learning who you are is more important than anything else in this life. And stop wasting time trying to seek after, frivolous things. And just learn who you're supposed to be, first of all, and then be that person. Is like I said earlier in the show. That's really what I think being in contact with your very soul is about, because I think that's who you are if there is an afterlife, that's who you're going to be as well. I mean, that's the shard of intelligence and life that you were created to be. So
I was muted for that whole thing. Oh my God. It literally just looked to the top of the screen and was like, I'm muted. All right, so I basically took this down. I took the video down. It's easy. I'll just go right back to it. I took the video down. God, it's so. I hate the mute feature because I have two different ways of doing it. So I do it one way, and then I accidentally hit a key on the keyboard, and it mutes the StreamYard. So if I hit M on the keyboard, it mutes StreamYard, and it's caused me a ton of problems. And I don't know if there's a way to fix it. So it seems like we missed some of the stuff that was in the beginning of the space, and I want to go through some of what that is. So number one, James Fox texted him during the space, so he knew that Jason was coming forward that night. I'm gonna say that there was a little probably miscommunication there, and that it happened spontaneously, and he told James in hindsight, and James couldn't do anything about it. That's my guess as to what would happen. Says he's a first-hand whistleblower and is whistleblowing his first-hand knowledge of the phenomenon. Any connection to classified programs needs to be discussed in a skiff. So he's pulling the Grush. He's sticking to that. Classified stuff needs to be in a skiff, but he is willing to publicly testify under oath in hearings and has made this known to Congress as he has given testimony to representatives in the Senate and the House. Each time that he's spoken to them, there has been at least 7 individuals present. From here is where we go to the woods. The woo. Not the woods. What the hell? I got the movie on my mind. Here's where we get into the woo. He stood 3 inches from a blue-skinned humanoid being that was not like us. It was not us. We heard him in the testimony that we did hear reference an experience where some being did something to his team member. I can only assume, as of right now, that is what they were talking about, that encounter with this blue humanoid. He also says that crash retrieval programs are legit, and there are multiple craft and multiple non-human intelligence flying around and in our oceans, and they're tangible and physical, and they can be if they want to. Some of them don't have to be if they don't want to, but can if they want to. Rumor is that the reptilians are the malevolent of the beings. Now here, like I said, we're in the woo now, and some NHI don't like us but aren't malicious. Some NHI help us, but only up to a point because we can't handle the power of the technology. He doesn't know much about the biologics, which we did hear him talk about. He personally wants people to know that we aren't alone, but there is caution in letting people know that they are actively engaging humanity and opening ongoing contact because they don't know the full extent of it. Asked again, when will you reveal the program? He said, when the levee breaks. So he does mention the secret space program and this 20 and back. And I just wanted to quickly play. So this is what, again, I'm not saying that this guy is uncredible. And I'm not saying that this makes him uncredible. I'm simply presenting what 20 and back in has, what the baggage that it has attached to it, and what that will do to this testimony if he goes forward with that aspect of it. Again, I can't stress this enough. I don't claim to know his story 100% yet. I don't think anyone does. But if there is this reference to 20 and back and a secret space program where he'd be taken, does it work differently? Because if he was in the program and he is telling the truth, the 20 and back program, how did that work? Does time work differently in these missions that they went on? And how many patents, have we taken and seized as a government of advanced propulsion and advanced technology, 0-point energy. How many patents get seized per year that have to do with alternative energy? There's no doubt in my mind that a secret space program probably exists. But this 20 and back program, if he's going to be attaching himself to that, that's going to be a hard sell. And I'm just going to say it up front. That's going to be a hard sell, because what I'm about to show you is a deposition of Corey Good, who claims IP, and I'm not joking. He claims to own the IP of the 20 and back story. So it will literally cause legal issues, I would assume. Eventually, Corey Good is going to pop up if this guy sticks to this 20 and back thing, and he's going to be like, you're using my intellectual property. Like, is that what's going to come next? Because that would ruin this whole thing. This guy's whole, everything he's trying to do. If this guy is coming from his heart and is genuine, and just, if this is just a coincidence, then that sucks, because this is going to be a hard sell to the public, to the UFO public, and to the public after the debunkers get a hold of it. Because it's not when. I mean, it's not if, it's when. And they've already connected the dots to the Corey Good story.